Hi, it's Kate with Ergo Spout. I'm excited to be sharing another video with you. So last week we did a Facebook Live where we answered questions and we talked about the features of the Ergo Spout, and we also talked a little bit about the Kickstarter campaign. So if you missed that question and answer session, it's available on our Facebook page, and I've also put it on our blog. And our blog is available at blog.ergospout.com. It's a great place to get updates and to see if there's anything you missed and to stay on top of the information about the Ergo Spout and the Kickstarter campaign. So one of the things that we talked about when we did the live is we talked about running through the Kickstarter page so that when we launch, you'll know what you're looking at and you'll know what to do. And so that's what I wanted to do tonight, is I want to run through the Kickstarter page with you. Now, keep in mind that the Kickstarter is not yet live, and so this page is just a preview. There may be additional information or tweaks that Bryce and I make before we launch, and so it might look a little bit different. So don't be mad if it does, but for the most part, the bulk of the information is there, and it will give you an idea of what the Kickstarter page is going to look like when we do launch. So again, we're launching on July 2nd, Monday, at 8 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. That's when it'll officially go live, and it'll be available to take your contributions. So without further ado, here is the Kickstarter page. So you'll notice that right at the top it says the Ergo Spout, and then it has a big video. Kickstarter campaigns, the video is a big part of showing off the product and letting you know about the features and what it's going to be like. I'm not going to play that for you tonight. I want you to have a surprise and something to look forward to when we launch on Monday. So I'm not going to play that, but I will point out here on this side is where it's going to have the information of tracking the pledges. So you can see that we've set a $10,000 goal. That's how much we've decided to raise before we commit to producing the spout. It's actually going to take more money than that to produce it, but we have other funding in place, and so we believe we can do it with the $10,000 goal. Up at the top, it's going to keep track of the pledges that have been made towards the $10,000 goal. So you'll be able to track and see where we are as we go throughout the campaign, and also the number of backers, the number of individuals who've contributed towards that final goal. You'll see it here, it says that the project is not yet live. Obviously, that's not going to be there when we finally do go live. So as we scroll down, you'll see that the Kickstarter page is basically broken down into two columns. On the left, you're going to have information about the Ergo Spout and the product, and on the right, you're going to have some information about the pledge levels. So this first pledge level, it just says $1 or more. This is for individuals who don't want to receive one of the Ergo Spouts but are interested in contributing to the campaign, that they're interested in supporting us, and we appreciate any support that we can get, but there will not be a reward of an Ergo Spout at this first pledge level. So the first level where you're going to receive a spout is this one. It says $15 or more, and it says early bird. So the early bird is for individuals who contribute in the first 3 days of the campaign. You'll notice if you scroll down, the next level is an 18 level for one spout. So the $18, after the first 3 days, it's going to be $18 in order to get a spout. But those first 3 days is where you're going to get the best price. I think we had mentioned doing it at $20 for this for after the early bird, but we ran some numbers, and it looks like we're going to be able to do it at 18. So here's what you're going to get with one Ergo Spout. You're going to get one spout, and then you'll get your choice of color in the vintage blue, which is this color that matches the vintage ball jars, a barn red or a classic white, and then you'll get our progress updates. And then here is the estimated delivery date. We've put it at February 2019, and I know that seems far away, but there's actually a lot that needs to take place after we complete the Kickstarter campaign. First, we need to manufacture and tool the molds, and that can take 30 to 60 days. After we have the molds, we can begin the process of manufacturing, which can take another 30 days. After we have the product, we still need to package that, which can take another 30 days. And after it's packaged, it still needs to be shipped back to us. And then after we receive it, then we can put the shipping labels on it and get it back out to you. So 6 months is actually a reasonable guesstimate of what it's going to take in order to get the Ergo Spout out. So these progress updates that are mentioned right here are actually a really important part of that. If you choose to be a backer, you're going to be able to get updates. And so once it funds, we'll be able to send out progress reports about where we are in that process of getting the product into our hands so we can send it out to you. Right now, we only have shipping into the United States, and the reason for that is we have been trying to get the best prices that we can and make it work for places other than the United States. So if you're in another country and you want to get an Ergo Spout, please contact us so we know which countries that we need to make sure that we include, because we are working on that, and hopefully by the time that we go live, there will be the additional countries of where the Ergo Spout will be shipping to. Okay, so that first level for an Ergo Spout is $15 in the first 3 days. Then we have the $18 level. And the next one is $30 for 2 spouts. This is also an early bird, which means it has to be done within the first 3 days of the campaign. You're going to get your choice of the color, and if you get 2, you can choose whether you have 2 of the same color or 2 different colors. That's up to you. And those color choices will be made after the campaign is complete. We'll be sending emails out to all of our backers to gather information about which ones that they want. So that'll happen after the campaign. So $30 for 2, $36 at the $18 level in order to get 2. After those first 3 days, there's a 3 Ergo Spout level at $45 in the early bird special. That again has to be done within the first 3 days of the campaign, and then the $54 for 3 thereafter. We do have a 12 Ergo Spout level at $180. That's $15 a spout, which is the early bird price, but this will be available for the whole campaign. So if you have a catering business or a restaurant or just need to have a dozen Ergo Spouts in your house, this is where you're going to be able to purchase 12. And then last we have a $700 level for 50 spouts, which is actually a little less than the early bird special. And this is for individuals who might be interested in stocking the Ergo Spout in a shop. We've had at least one person contact us with regard to the possibility of doing that, so we made a 50 spout level. So those are the different levels that are going to be available during the campaign. One thing I might mention is that because we're not live yet, there's actually no place to click, which is slightly confusing if you're looking at this. But keep in mind that once we go live, there will be a place for you to click in order to go to the place where you can put in your information. So I believe it's just right down here when we go live. So look for that when we go live, of the place where you can click to make your pledge in order to do that. Now, when you do make your pledge, your credit card will not be immediately charged. There's a 30-day window for us to complete our campaign, and if you'll recall, back up here, we have a $10,000 goal. There's 2 things that have to happen in order for your credit card to be charged. 1, we have to meet our $10,000 goal, and 2, we have to finish the 30-day window. So if we don't meet our goal, even if you pledge, you won't be charged. It's an all or nothing. So if we meet our goal, and then after the 30 days are up, then your credit card will be charged. So those are the conditions that have to be met in order for the pledge to go through. So first we have to meet our goal, and then we have to finish the campaign. So now that I've explained the backer levels, let's look at a little bit about the information that's available about the spout. Here's a nice picture with the spout in a vintage half-gallon jar and some lemonade. A little bit about mason jars, and then this one diagram shows the regular mouth mason jars in the various sizes. So right now the Ergo Spout is only available in the regular mouth. I'll talk a little bit about the wide mouth when we get down to the stretch goals. So as long as the jar is 2.75 inches across, the Ergo Spout will fit. And so here's a GIF that shows all the different kinds of mason jars that the Ergo Spout will fit on, from the half-gallon down to the little 12-ounce jar, if you saw that, the quilted jam jar. And a little bit about assembly. Here's the various parts of the Ergo Spout. There's a gasket underneath to prevent leaking, and the main body of the spout and handle, and then the flip top lid. And here's another diagram that shows the various parts of the spout. A little bit of information about using it. Pretty much anything you want to pour from a mason jar, you can put in the mason jar with the Ergo Spout. The materials and the design, it's going to be BPA and phthalates free, and the polypropylene plastic will not warp in high temperatures like the dishwasher and microwave. There's a nice GIF of me pouring with the spout. There's also a little bit of information about things you can do with the Ergo Spout that you can't do with a regular mason jar. Because there's a handle to hold on to that has a silicone grip on the inside, You won't have to handle a slippery wet jar, which can prevent dropping it and breaking it. Also, you'll be able to pour hot liquids without handling it with hot pads. You'll be able to have that handle to do hot gravy or syrup. And last, you won't have sticky messes dripping down the side of the jar because the spout will guide it to a place where it won't drip. Here's a few endorsements from people who've expressed their excitement about the availability of the Ergo Spout coming to market, so you can take a look at those, and then we get to backer rewards. Here you have a computer rendering of the various colors. So here's the vintage blue, the classic white, and the barn red. And then here's a bit more information about the backer levels. This is the same that we went over on the left side of the page. Okay, so now we get to stretch goals. So stretch goals are goals that we set above and beyond what our funding goal is. So once we reach the $10,000, we'll move forward with producing the Ergo Spout in the 3 colors. But we've added some additional goals beyond that $10,000. And the first one is $30,000. If we can reach $30,000, we're going to add a 4th color option. And you, the backers, will be able to vote on this color choice. We've already had people express an interest in purple, in orange, or black, and so it'll be fun to see what you guys choose for the 4th color option. And stretch goal number 2 is the $50,000. So this is where we talk about the wide mouth version. So we feel like once we reach $50,000, we'll have sufficient funds to engage our designers and engineers to design and develop the wide mouth version. And then we can buy the second set of molds and produce that. Now, one of the nice things about reaching the $50,000 level is that if you are a backer, you'll be able to choose which size you want your Ergo Spouts to be in. So for example, if you back at the 2 Ergo Spout level and we meet the $50,000 goal sometime after that, once we complete the campaign, you can decide what size of Ergo Spouts you want. You can have one of each, a wide mouth and a regular mouth, or you could have 2 wide mouths. Now, if we don't reach the $50,000, all of the Ergo Spouts are going to be regular mouth. But once we reach the $50,000, it'll open up the option for you to choose what you would like after the fact. So that's the $50,000 goal, and then we've set another goal of $70,000. Now, if we can reach $70,000, I have a surprise. I have a gift that I will be giving to every backer that will go with the Ergo Spout, and it's going to be amazing. But I'm not going to tell you what that is until we reach that $50,000 goal. So I'll reveal the I'll reveal the prize after the $50,000 goal is met. That we're going to get if we hit $70,000. So stay tuned, tell your friends, and help us get to these goals that are beyond our funding goal so that we can bring additional rewards to you, our backers. And the next thing to look at is the timeline. This just gives you some information historically about the development of the spout and kind of looking forward as well. It was a number of years ago that I first came up with the idea, but it wasn't until January of last year that Bryce took the idea and started to develop prototypes. And then last summer we went to farmers markets and talked to people about the Ergo Spout and got feedback and email addresses. We added a lid last fall only to realize that we really needed a flip-top lid. And so then we went to our designers and worked on the flip-top lid. The patent was filed in May. We also received the final prototype, which allowed us to get ready for the Kickstarter campaign, and here we are. So July is when the Kickstarter will launch. It will finish 30 days thereafter. At the beginning of August, and then we'll be able to work on the production. And as I mentioned, it'll take 30 to 60 days to get our molds, and then we'll be able to start the production, and then we'll be able to do the packaging, and then we'll be able to get the shipment to us, and once it arrives, we'll be able to send it out to you. Next is a little bit about how I came up with the idea for the Ergo Spout, and then the questions and answers. And these are the same questions and answers that we went over in the Facebook Live and that are also available on our blog. And after that, a little bit about our team. There's a picture of me and my handsome husband. And here's some of the designers and engineers that we've been working with. And we have just been tickled with the work that they have done and the help that they've given us in bringing the Ergo Spout to life. And then a little bit about the challenges and the risks of doing a project like this. There's no guarantees, but we are going to do everything we can to make this possible. So again, what you're going to do when we finally go live is you're going to come and review the information, and then you're going to be able to select your reward level and contribute to the campaign. So that is the Kickstarter page. And again, before we launch, I just want to remind you that we are always available to answer questions. If there's any hesitation or anything you want to know, please email me. My email is kate@ergospout.com. You can contact us on our Facebook page or on Instagram or any way you can find to get a hold of us. We're always available to answer questions and to make sure that you're comfortable in contributing to our campaign, because we want it to be a success and we want you to be happy with the product that we're producing. So never worry about bothering us or contacting us, because we want to hear from you and we want to make you happy, and we're so excited about making the Ergo Spout available. So there we are with the campaign. Let us know if how we're doing and if you have any questions, and we will see you on the Kickstarter page on July 2nd at 8 a.m.